it's game over for me unless I find a second job. I'm really struggling. Not even McDonald's wants to hire me. Nobody wants to don't crash out, Nova. Do not crash out on your last video.
Well, folks, here we go. Today, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite meatball, Nova Online. So basically, TikTok got banned finally, but it also came back. So that means we get Nova crashing out and also Nova excited because he gets to come back on TikTok and prey on all the minors that he gets on his Discord servers. I mean, honestly, it wasn't just Nova. There's tons of lolcows I can talk about in this video, but I wanted to focus on Nova Online because we just did a Tofiachu video, but she was also crashing out pretty hard due to this TikTok ban. I mean, they all thought their livelihood was gone, and it was basically just TikTok trolling them. They quickly reinstated the app literally the next day. So it's pretty crazy, man. TikTok wasn't even banned for more than, I don't know, like 12 hours. And these guys were freaking out about it, thinking that they were going to lose their jobs, making videos of themselves crying and freaking out. So in today's video, I wanted to take a look at a few of Nova's videos pre-banning, his reaction to the banning of TikTok, and then his videos after the ban was lifted. Because, you know, it's all a whirlwind of emotions coming from Nova, and it's very crazy to see. You see him get upset because TikTok is being banned and, you know, he actually has to find a real job. He even talks about how he's having difficulty finding jobs at the moment. And then you see him happy because now he doesn't have to get off his ass and actually get a real job. I mean, it's the same shit with Tofiachu. Like I mentioned earlier, she was ranting about how TikTok was getting banned. She got super upset when the time came. And now she's happy because she doesn't actually have to look for a real job. And these guys thought that they were going to be moving to Redno and Xiaohongshu. And it's like, these Chinese people aren't going to take Nova dressing in Sailor Moon outfits and wearing Paw Patrol shirts. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get banned off that app real quick. They're going to bully him off that app as soon as they can because they just don't take that shit. Like, we already seen the response from Tofiachu where she was mad because there was some homophobia on the app and, you know, she was just getting all up in arms and saying that people should not download Red Note because there's like bad shit on the app, when it's like, this is just the Chinese culture. It has nothing to do with the app itself, and nobody's going to put a stop to it because that's primarily a Chinese app. You expect them to get with American culture because a bunch of Americans want to join their app? Nah, that's why they made TikTok. So I'm sure Nova is pretty happy that he doesn't have to move to Xiaohongshu or, you know, to Red Note, because then he wouldn't be able to be his true authentic self. Speaking of Nova's true authentic self, let's take a look at some of Nova's videos before getting banned. Let's see what content he had to offer to both Xiaohongshu and Red Note, because it was pretty garbage, to be honest with you. Just his typical food reviews and karaoke videos.
Let's make surf and turf. Get out your steak. Season generously with some Osmo. And my favorite seasoning blend, Spog. I also like to add a little bit of lemon pepper for a citrus kick. Damn it, I forgot a binder. But you think I forgot about the salmon, huh? No way. We're gonna pop that in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. I'm also gonna add a little sesame oil to the pan. I just put the salmon in the oven. I just want to show this real quick. Look at that fat render. That looks amazing. I overcooked my steak a little bit. It's more of a medium well than a medium rare. But minimal gray band, and it looks like the fat was rendered pretty well. Now I'm just waiting on the salmon. And we got 13 minutes left on it. That's like 10-year-old me. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. It is done. It is done. It is done. And that's the salmon. Take a piece of salmon. If I can get it out of the pan. There we go. And it broke apart. Damn it. And then finally, some angel hair pasta. And there you have it. Now, I've already had the steak before. I've made it several times. And I don't need to taste it to say that it is a really good steak. Tender, juicy, and flavorful. But I don't know if the same can be said about the salmon. So let's cut it. Ooh, it's so flaky I couldn't tear it apart with a spoon. Anyways, let's try out the salmon. Bone apple teeth. A little bit dry and tough, but the flavor is not too bad. To be honest, I expected a little more for Costco quality, but it's still decent. It'll get me through if I want salmon in a pinch. Not better than my Dijon chicken, though. Dijon chicken is my signature dish for a reason. But I will give the Surf and Turf meal a 7.5 out of 10. No Vine Universe, signing off. It's been almost 2 years since the French onion soup meme. So today, I went back to the place I used to work at and got the meal I used to get there all the time. Is it still good? Let's find out. Whew, small chili flakes. Alright, first let's try the garlic bread that came with it. Why is it stuck together? Alright, let's try it out. Pretty good. Alright, and now let's try the spring bowl itself, with its chicken and rice, with peppers, tomatoes, garbanzo beans, and feta cheese. I think I got a little bit of everything. Let's try it out. Forgot how good it was. And there's onions in here too. It's the best item one of their best selling items for a reason. It's that good. Oh wait! They had the chili flakes in the bag the whole time! Sprinkle if you want. I see that's a good amount. Oh yeah, that's the classic taste I know. That and the chicken fettuccine are probably my two most ordered things at the French onion soup place. Holy shit, it's so good. Highly recommend that item if you're ever in the area. No Vine Universe, signing off. I have fallen victim to late night munchies. Also, not to mention, I fell asleep for about 5 hours and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm gonna show you what I got from Taco Bell. I would have ordered Del Taco, but they were closed, so let's go. Spicy potato soft taco. It's so underrated and it always slaps. Cinnamon twists. Baja Blast. Always slaps. What can I tell you? And finally, a Crunch Wrap. Although they kind of messed up wrapping it, though. There's a hole in the middle. Still good, though. Anyways, yeah. That's my late night munchies. No Vine Universe, signing off. Hey, y'all. While I'm getting ready for my job interview, I just want to leave a message for anybody who has been feeling uninspired lately. Come on, get in the hole! That's what she said. But anyways, as I was saying, while I'm getting ready for my interview, I want to say, don't let the internet say what you can and cannot do. I have shown examples of this before. I don't let fears get in the way of what I enjoy doing, and I just do what I want to without any fear. I encourage you to do the same. If you have a passion, stick with it. And if you find out something's not for you, like if you find out your job isn't for you, then quit that 9 to 5 and find a job that you'll actually have interest in doing in the future. I just want you to be inspired today. So yeah, as I was saying, do what you want to do and not what society wants you to do. No Vine Universe, signing off.
One thing I want to mention about that surf and turf video before we go on to anything else is that his kitchen was supposed to just be cleaned. He was doing this house cleaning like whole saga, right? He called it a house cleaning saga, where he was cleaning his house spot by spot, basically. I don't know what made him start doing this. I assume it's because people on his Instagram live were seeing all his dirty dishes. I was honestly surprised, and it's like, you can't hate on the guy for trying to clean up his house. But this is right after he was supposed to, clean up his whole entire kitchen, or at least his kitchen spot by spot. And as you can see, it doesn't look very clean. There's stuff all over the stove, like old food that's all over the stove. There's dishes piled up. It looks horrible. I'd honestly be embarrassed if I was recording in a house like this, because it just looks bad, bro. Like, it looks like you're a hoarder, or, whoever takes care of your house is a hoarder. Somebody should be keeping up with that. And I mean, it's good that you're doing it now, but you've obviously let it go for way too long. And your little cleaning TikTok videos or your little live streams aren't doing enough. You doing the dishes for one day isn't going to do enough. You need to get like a professional cleaner in that house, because that shit looks pretty bad. But I mean, I can't really hate on his food, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't know how to cook a salmon. I don't think I've ever cooked a salmon at all. So I'd be out of turn to talk about him cooking a salmon, or to try to like rate his salmon cooking skills, because I have no idea how good he did. You guys in the comments can let me know if he cooked that meal good. To me, it looked pretty edible, and hey, that's a win for Nova right there. If he can make something that somebody could eat, then he should, take that W and just move on. Now, the next video pissed me the fuck off, because how are you gonna go to the same place that you made your viral French onion soup video at and not get the French onion soup? I mean, that would have been the perfect opportunity for you to do the French onion soup meme over again. You could have ordered a French onion soup, had your mom like off screen hand it to you, and then you could have screamed, "French onion soup, please." And that video would have did great. But I don't know, I think Nova just doesn't want to play into it too much. He probably hates that meme. People use it to make fun of him all the time. So instead, out of spite, he decided to get some random meal that nobody cares about. Like, nobody gives a fuck what you used to eat when you worked there. They want to see you eat French onion soup. You're the French onion soup kid. This is the type of shit that the people in China are missing out on. Every single day, they're missing out on a new Nova food review. Nova stuffing his face with Del Taco or Taco Bell and calling it a food review. It's just another excuse for him to eat a bunch of food, a bunch of different food items, try them all, and say that it was just a taste test or whatever. He's been doing it since the Wingstop video, and it's his tried and true method of eating as much food as possible without people calling him out, even though they always end up doing it because everybody sees through the facade. They know that he's not doing this to review food, he's doing this because he wants to eat. But I don't know, maybe that shit would do good in China because they love mukbangs, right? So maybe instead of calling them food reviews, Nova can just call them mukbangs, and then he'd probably go viral in China. Shit, who knows? But that's enough of that. I think you guys get the point. That's the kind of shit that the people in China would be missing out on. Now, let's move to Nova Online spurging out because TikTok was banned. He finally got the news, I guess. I don't know why he hasn't been spurging out earlier, but for some reason, it was only maybe a few hours before the ban, or like a day before, when he started spurging out about it. I don't think he thought it was real up until the point where he actually saw that it was serious. Like, TikTok was really going to shut down. But they ended up not shutting down, so I guess it wasn't that serious, right? He started thinking it was serious, though, and it made him spurg the fuck out because his job interviews aren't doing that good. You can't hate on the guy for trying to get a job, right? Because he's definitely doing more than Tofia, but this whole job interview bullshit is all performative. He'll go to a job interview wearing like a Liam Payne tribute shirt, right? Like, obviously he's not doing enough to get hired, because I don't think he really wants to get hired that much. I think he just goes to job interviews and tries to get jobs to shut the trolls up, right? When in reality, we all know Nova is complacent on TikTok. He loves being on TikTok, and he loves being able to prey on minors while simultaneously getting gifts from TikTok Live and making the TikTok AdSense, right? That's what they all do. So I really don't see him wanting to get another job for any other reason besides the fact that this dude wants to stick it to the haters who think that he can't get a job, basically. So, he gets these little jobs, he gets them for about a week or two, and then he gets fired. He knows the cycle, he knows what's going to happen, but he's still going to try because at least he can tell everybody that, he's trying to look for a job. But hey, that's more than Tofia does, so you got to give the guy a little bit of credit there. At least he's trying.
Well, guys, this is it. If you're an American and seeing this, this may very well be the last TikTok you're seeing from me. If my VPN strategy does not work out, then it's game over for me unless I find a second job. I'm really fucking struggling. Not even McDonald's wants to fucking hire me. Nobody wants to fucking... Don't crash out, Nova. Do not fucking crash out on your last fucking video. Fuck. That's what job withdrawal fucking does to me. I've been going a month and a half without a fucking job, and I'm fucking sick of it! Anyways, if you guys want to still see my content, go to my YouTube, go to my Xiaohongshu. I'm gonna stop this video before I fucking crash out again. Nova Universe, fucking signing off. Fuck my life. Well, TikTok is gone. All I've got now is Red Note, Clapper, and YouTube. Although I don't think Clapper will even transport my TikTok videos, but we'll see. I know that TikTok's gonna be back. We just have to wait. My fellow TikTok refugees, is anyone else opening TikTok just forgetting it's banned right now? And you can't even use a VPN?
What's crazy about this is in the last video, we talked about Nova bragging that he had gotten a job interview. You know, he got fired and then people were saying that they were going to be able to get him an interview and they might be able to get him a job. I don't know if they were just trolling him. He seemed to be going to a few job interviews, but didn't get any. And up until this point, he seemed pretty happy about like the situation that he was in. He was giving that motivational speech beforehand. You guys seen when he was putting on his shirt and he was saying he wasn't going to stop no matter what. And you know, people on the internet just don't want him to be his true authentic self, which is basically a kid diddler. That's what he means. People don't want him to be able to diddle kids and dress in Sailor Moon outfits. But anyway, now this dude is facing job withdrawal, I guess, because his interviews haven't been working. He's been trying to get a job for like 2 months now and nobody's biting. And you know why, Nova? It's because you're a kid diddler. It's because of all the shit that you've done on the internet. I don't know what you're gonna do, bro. Like, you're never gonna be able to wipe that shit off the internet. I guess the best thing you could probably do for yourself is get off the internet for a while and I guess just not work until some of the shit dies down. Maybe try to better yourself, you know, get into some shit in the community, make people actually like you. And then you might actually find a place where you can, you know, get a job. If you make friends, if you make connections. Anyway, there's options for you, Nova. You could probably figure it out if you really tried, but it doesn't matter at this point. Like, if you keep going and making TikTok videos, the same shit's gonna happen. People are gonna look for your job and people are gonna try to get you fired because every single time you get a job, you brag about it on your TikTok page and you end up showing off your uniform and it has some kind of giveaway to where you're working because all the people already know where you work. So they just call that shit, let them know. Next thing you know, you're fired. I feel like if you removed your TikTok page from the equation and all your social media bullshit, that you'd probably have a lot easier of a time finding a job if you just focused on the real world. That's my point here, right? Like, just focus on bettering yourself instead of going on TikTok every day and, you know, complaining. And it's not like I'm trying to give Nova advice or anything. I say this every time I make a video on one of these lolcows. This is general advice for anybody with this kind of issue. Anybody that's like way too engulfed in their internet persona, right? One thing that you can do that would make it very easy for you and everybody else around you who dislikes you is just to delete your page, get off the internet, make some real friends, work on your personality, work on your social skills, and, you know, actually be a good person. But it's impossible for these lolcows because they're not good people. It's all performative for TikTok. They pretend to be normal when in reality they're kid diddlers and, you know, they're just these depraved, horrible people, right? It's like, yeah, no shit, you're having issues finding jobs. You're a kid diddler and everybody knows it. At this point, TikTok's slogan should be housing predators since 2018 because that's what they do. They basically protect these predators, give them a platform where they can make money and they can thrive, and then they throw them to the wolves. So now let's take a look at Nova's excitement to TikTok opening back up. Homie was refreshing TikTok every hour just to see if this shit would load back up. He was like one of the first people to make a video again on the platform. It's pretty crazy. Homie was ready to go.
Wait a minute. Guys. I just managed to get into TikTok. Guys, did it just get unbanned? There's actually no fucking way. If you don't know, Safeway sells ready-made meals. And we're going to be trying them. Starting off with pork chops and pesto butter. Starting in at $4.99 a pound. Here's a look at the inside of the pork chop. It is literally dripping juices. It is that juicy. Anyways, it's had time to cool down. Let's try it out. Bone apple teeth. The meat is extremely juicy. However, it is really tough. The flavor on it is also not too bad either. Now we're going to try a piece with a little bit of the pesto on it. Very, very flavorful. All in all, that ready-made meal, not that bad. If they could make the pork chop a little bit more tender, it would easily be one of the better ready-made meals at Safeway very early on. But it's not. So I'm going to place that pork chop meal into B tier. Nova Universe, signing off.
So y'all might be a little confused as to what that video towards the end is. What does Nova trying a Safeway ready meal have anything to do with, TikTok being unbanned and him coming back? Well, that was his first real video after the TikTok ban was lifted. Homie decided that the best content for him to post, once he got his career back, his TikTok career back, the best content for him to post was trying a dry ass, ready-made pork chop from Safeway. It's like, no shit, it's dry. He says that it's juicy, but then he also says that it's tough. I think what he means is that it's dry, but it had a lot of juice around it, which makes sense. It's sitting under a warmer. It's probably going to be dry, right? Pork is one of those things that I just don't really fuck with when it comes to like shit under a warmer. I'll take a rotisserie chicken any day, but I never really eat pork. I never really eat steak because when you have those things under a warmer for prolonged periods of time, they're bound to come out dry. They're bound to come out tough because they're sitting under a warmer. Whereas rotisserie chicken is able to retain a pretty good amount of moisture and it just kind of gets better with time. As long as it's, less than a day old, it's going to be pretty good. Also, if Nova was really trying to, stay on his fitness goals, he would have ate a chicken because it's lean protein compared to like, pork, which is almost like the complete opposite of something like poultry when it comes to, fat to protein ratio. When you look at something like bacon, pork bacon, that shit is pretty wild. But when you look at something like turkey bacon, it starts to become a little bit more reasonable because poultry tends to be a way leaner protein. But the point of Nova making this video probably had nothing to do with his health and he just wanted to eat a pork chop. That's what I say in every one of these food reviews. He just wants to eat. That's it. He doesn't give a fuck about reviewing, a ready meal. The fuck does he care about that shit? He already knows it's going to be bad. He just wants to eat it. But anyway, folks, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you watched all the way to the end, you're the best. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.